it's a certain advantage if you want. So we go to combined fog of war view, very good. Interesting path for Frag Executors. I assume they're gonna go for the enemy blue. Gonna wait in the bush up here, I'm guessing. While Fnatic are just, they are gonna go for they're gonna group up in the tri-bush and then gonna go to the bush near top lane. And from there on out, as soon as they have their second CV available, there is a CV from Fnatic near the enemy blue. As soon as Frag Executors have a CV for their own jungle, now for the enemy jungle, they will go in. There is the CV. Now they can go in and actually wait in the bushes near Golem. That's an interesting move, Joe.
Yeah, and actually, this happened to them in the last game. We saw CLG pushing very heavily into the FX jungle. They stole the golems, they stole the lizard buff before FX could even react to that one. But it looks like FX are actually going back from this.
Okay.
A little bit scared, I think, of committing to that level 1 fight, because if it goes wrong for you there, it can spell bad news right from the very get-go.
Scouting accomplished is what they're probably thinking. We have successfully found an empty forest.
Yeah, they did that at least, let's say. And Fnatic are actually now headed back over towards that blue position as, pretty standard stuff there from the start.
Yep, the Fiddlesticks doesn't need help, but I believe if he gets help, it's going to make him come out of this with full health, possibly. Gonna have to see. I don't see Fiddle jungling often enough at all, and there's a lot of help actually from Alistar and Annie. But I'm almost getting a good amount of help from XP as well. Oh, what's going on? Oh, it looks like a disconnect. Maybe just a hiccup. Let's hope it was just a hiccup. Yeah, the hiccup actually caused both golems to reset. That's unfortunate at this critical moment in the game. Let's see if Synar actually has enough mana to take it down. He's getting it down to 700, and he's gonna run out of mana any moment now. And where's the smite? Fnatic, Synar, yes. Barely smites and levels up, and Fiddlesticks obviously has much less of a problem. That drain is just OP for the jungle. We see Karthus now on top lane against Galio. Galio, who by the way started out with a Makey Pendant, so that's going to be a very fast chalice for him. And he should be fine. I see 57 magic resist, so that's heavily stacked MR runes. Bottom lane in the meantime, Lami has taken a little bit of damage from Ashe. It's going to be just fine as well. This is the kind of lane where you need to be super careful. If you make one mistake there as Tristana, you need to be able to count on your Janna to bail you out. And doesn't look like much of anything is happening here at the moment. Annie is just pushing mid lane. Now, the received wisdom is Brand versus Annie. Brand should win 10 times out of 10, and it's Shushi. It's not just any Brand, so I expect that mid lane to go heavily in Fnatic's favor.
And we see down on the bottom already, Lami has pushed those minions up in towards turret range, so really nicely done there. Ismaro, of course, is playing the Alistar down on that bottom lane as support for Frag Executors. So they're playing basically what CLG played against them in the bottom lane the last time. Here we go. We're seeing Fiddlesticks coming in for a little bit of action. Shushi, is he just trying to bait him here? Did you see that already? There wasn't a ward. I didn't see if there was a clairvoyance anyway. No, Shushi's just
going home.
Going home in the middle, no problem.
He's going home for an early ward. So that's actually very, very well done there. He realizes that the only way that Fiddle is going to be useful, because Fiddle doesn't have the automatic usefulness of a Mumu, who can always ult in late game team fights. Fiddle, in order to be really successful, needs to gank aggressively. That's why Shushi says, you know what, I'm laning just fine here, I'm going to go home and buy an early ward. And that's actually really well done there, really conservative play.
So we actually have no game sounds at the moment because I left my music on in the background. So we've either got game sounds and music, or I have to alt-tab out at a point where we're not going to miss anything, and I'm not going to do that before First Blood. Yes,
that's probably wise. It doesn't look like anything's going to happen at this time, but bot lane is very volatile with that Alistar. And yeah, Lamia taking a couple of pot shots at Imba. Needs to be careful not to fall behind there in CS, and indeed they are exactly head-to-head, 26 each. There you go, a little bit of damage on Ashe, but nothing major is going to happen there. I expect First Blood really around level 6, Joe, and the mid lanes are going to spend their flashes and do lots of damage to each other.
Well, right now, Lamia just putting out a little bit more damage onto Imba, and we are seeing Fiddlestick sniffing around. No, he's not going to come in there. PK actually still has full HP. Mana looking a little bit low, but That should be sorted out in a little while. And still, Lamia continues to really push quite heavily. Here we go, then. We're going to see Fiddlesticks start to move in. What is PK going to do? Slowbar goes in onto Fiddlesticks, and I think PK is well and truly safe from this one. Actually, the fear does come off there. Exhaust goes down onto Fiddle. He is trying to drain PK as much as possible. But here comes Brand, and we see the flash going out there from Galio. Nicely avoids the pillar, but the stun will actually land onto him. And this is first blood. Shushi will pick it up as well. Drain was going out onto PK. Slowbar goes down. The chance for a second. It won't actually work out for them, but still very nicely done there with all that pressure onto PK. I think Frag Executors just lost track of things there.
Annie was actually coming top to help there, but Nicky just a little bit too slow there to actually come in, and he could have possibly picked up XPK because he was out of mana, but not quite level 6 yet, so without that big burning bear, it's not gonna happen.
Certainly isn't, and I'm still scared to alt tab out because bottom lane still. When someone goes back, I think we can think about that one. So yeah, apologies for that one, guys. I have too many buttons to press before the game, and occasionally one of them doesn't get pressed. So Fiddle just continuing off in his jungle pattern. Down at the bottom, it's still high pressure time from Fnatic. They're really holding quite heavily and pushing those minions right up into the turret. We may see something around middle here as well. Cyanide, I think Annie's pretty much out of range there. Yeah, just about. The stun did go in though. Ulti will be fired off from Shushi, but there we go. Tibbers drops in, and actually they kill each other in the end of it all. It was PK who actually, dropped the Karthus ult. I didn't see the red above her head, actually, but yeah, that's the kill back. So it's 2-1 Fnatic, still holding. They've got a 2k gold lead almost after 7 minutes.
You should be safe to alt up right now. It doesn't look like anything fancy is going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to look at our faces talking for a second.
So nothing's happening there. Galio is being very, very safe top lane. He's going to ward the Tribush, not going to ward it. Amumu is setting up for a gank against Galio, but I think Galio must have seen him. There is a bit of damage now for Karthus, and Amumu is not coming in time. Amumu is just waiting in the wings. So nothing's happened, and I can hear the sound. Beautiful.
We have now game sounds. So mission accomplished.
You did not lose anything.
We did it well. We did it well in the end. Melisandre just coming back down into his bottom lane now, so we'll see Imber just returning into that lane. Did go back. Berserker's Greaves finished, and second Doran's Blade as well. PK putting a bit of damage out onto the turret. Not really a lot there.
Okay, top lane, he almost bandaged us there. Kuban offered himself, just barely out of range of that bandage toss. That could have been a very good kill, but Galio must have smelled the Amumu being around there. Well done from Galio.
Yeah, nice defensive play there, making sure that he didn't get caught out. We're seeing Brand move up to have a take on that blue buff, and actually we saw the ping from Frag Executors as well. So both mid lane players are going to be taking the Golem buff, and actually rocket jump in there from Lamia. That was an interesting one. He jumped in behind Ismaro, which could have been dangerous.
I don't know what happened with the blue buff. Fiddle was trying to donate it to Annie and smited it as well, but then auto-attacked one more time and took it after all. So not entirely sure if that was quite as intended. Well, Fiddle with blue buff is not the end of the world either. But yeah, you would want to have it on the Annie for her to actually win a lane, because if you look at the lane right now, it's 50 to 43. Certainly not the end of the world by any means, but it's Shushi that's slowly getting ahead there, and he has a kill and an assist, whereas the Annie only has a kill.
We see Shushi come in there. Yeah, bottom lane's gone back.
Okay, both of them actually went back. Lamia seems to be waiting for something in the shop right now. See what that's going to be. Yes, he was waiting for his best friend, the sword. That's what it means.
Really?
I'm not sure. I decreed it thus.
If it's anything like the BF gun in Quake, I know exactly what it stands for, and it's not repeatable on any stream.
I think it's best friend. I want to believe it's best friend.
Yeah, that's nicer, I guess.
That's so nicer, yeah.
Ooh, Fiddlesticks just having a bit of a sniff down middle, but obviously this ward here in that bush will have spotted him earlier on, so that's all safe. Shushi won't be too worried about what's all going on there. Let's have a look quickly at the items of those mid guys. We've seen Second Dawn's Blade, the Sorcerer's Shoes as well on Sushi, and actually we are going to see the move in here onto Sushi that flashed Tibbers going in and actually knocked him round about to half health, so not too much damage being put out there for Nika.
I'm not quite sure what he was hoping for there. I mean,
down on bottom, we're actually seeing pressure putting onto Imber as well. He actually put the defensive arrow down, flash from Fiddle, knocked away from the Lamia ulti, and Melisand's the one that's in trouble now, has to get away, flash over the top, and I think also had the shield ready there as well. So nicely done by Melisand. Actually, we saw him in the game against SK with some unbelievable escapes around there.
And now Frag Executors are going for Dragon, which they can do very, very early because of Fiddle. Fiddle can just tank that Dragon all day long with his Drain, especially when he has blue buff. The blue buff not so much for the mana, but for the cooldowns. The Drain is always up. But there's Fnatic right now. Shusha and Cyanide are getting in position. Cyanide has his ultimate ready, as does Shusha. If they go in and fight this right now. There's Galio, very good ultimate, only catching Amumu though. And Amumu gets blown up in no time. There's the Brand ultimate. It's not hitting anyone of worthy at all. Carthus is going in right now with his ultimate, with his AoE. Shusha needs to run from Galio. It's super low there. It gets the Q, and that's a kill. And it looks like XPK is going to die as well. He's flashing after Annie, but it's not going to be enough. And there's the ultimate. I don't think anyone's going to die from it. No. Wow.
FX showing that there are no slouches in this one. They are now 4-2 in the lead, and they've brought this gold right back, and this Dragon's going to help with that a ton.
They're going to actually take the lead with the Dragon, I believe. Yeah, they are. And there's nothing that Melisand can do. He could try to steal. Yes, that would be pretty imba. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, you've got to time it pretty nicely with Janna to get the steal on something like that.
Yeah, or be pretty lucky. I think the biggest problem was that Amumu blew up before he could use his ultimate. That was really what caused them that fight there. And Amumu maybe a little bit optimistic going in that far ahead. He probably didn't calculate on Galio coming in from mid lane.
Although, did he come in from mid or from the bush? Yeah, which is actually warded as well from Fnatic.
It is. So, I don't know.
Maybe just a bit of miscommunication. It's very loud here, obviously, at Gamescom. So that kind of thing can happen when you've got around, I don't know, well, lots of sound and thousands of people packed into the venue. In the middle lane, we are seeing a lot of pressure going in there. PK just chipping away. Did have his slow bar down to stop Alvaro moving his way in there. He'll just get a couple of seconds of drain off. Down on the bottom lane, Melisand again being caught out. He's going to take a fair amount of damage here. Ismaro is actually trying to get in front of him to knock him backwards, which is not quite going to be able to achieve, and Melisand will get away for free. Here comes Galio. PK is down there as well. Nicely played slow bar, but Ismaro will actually charge on straight through that one. And is PK going to survive it? It looks that way, and they're actually going to focus away now. And yeah, we saw the flashes going in towards safety, and definitely worth it there. Actually, Lamia surviving with round about 100 HP.
We're actually at 15.5 versus 15.6k gold, so we're super, super close right now. And you know what, Joe? I think Frag Executors actually have a chance in this game. They've been playing very, very well. Small mistakes by Fnatic, but that's one thing. The other thing is you need to be a good enough team to make use of those mistakes, and Frag Executors definitely did that.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a team that can be challenging these top three. I mean, the worst thing that Fnatic, SK, or not really now CLG, because obviously they've beat them, is to underestimate Frag Executors, which I think of the three teams, it probably would have been CLG who would have underestimated them before Fnatic and SK, because they know exactly who they are. Of course, Sushi got that insider information, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And we're seeing Annie just coming up to cover this top lane. PK did push it quite heavily. In fact, there's a decent stack of minions there with him as well, but I'm not sure he's going to hang around, and he probably shouldn't either, because Fiddlesticks is there, and, well, they just kind of kiss each other and run away again.
That's exactly what they did there, Joe. That's what people usually do in these games. Shuji is picking up blue by himself right now, so he is powerful enough for that. He's building his 3 Doran's rings, opening again mid. And meantime, it looks like Alistair almost caught Melisand there. Lamia was around as well, but Alistair is going to be fine. It's getting out of that. Annie is now top lane, it would seem, and Galio switched over mid lane, but Shuji was like, you know what, we're going to copy that switch, because I was happy with that lane. I'm not quite sure why he would be happy, because he is almost exactly equal on creep score with him, whereas 111 for Carthus versus... Oh, actually, no, Shuji actually stayed mid. I see, okay.
Yeah.
All right, but Karth was 111 versus 86 on Annie, so Annie wasn't doing well against Shushay at all.
Yeah, and that's the switch up from Frag Executors. They're thinking that might help them out. We're seeing Melisande just ward once again in towards this South River area. Fiddle's actually doing the blue.
Yeah, why not?
Just annoy him just a little bit.
So it seems that just a few seconds after the